What's up, happy gamers? I'm Jay Scrotts. So glad you decided to stop by today for some happy gaming. Yes, that's right, I've taken away my live visual cam so that you cannot see my face, you can only hear my voice, my sad, sad little voice. But that's okay because my face really isn't that pretty anyway, and you don't really need to see it. You just want to see Destiny, the Taken King. That's what you want to see. So I'm going to show it to you today. Destiny, the Taken King. I picked it up yesterday and only played several hours of it. Only, well, I guess 4 or 5 hours of it. And man, I'm loving what Bungie did. I want to give them high praise. They have changed a lot of the things that people were griping about. A lot of the things that people hated, even though the game was still fun. They've really done some good things. So let's go ahead and look at some footage here. So the main thing that Bungie did with Destiny, one of the main things in my opinion that really stuck out to me, was the fact that they decided to devote more attention to the story. And it is much more interesting. And if you guys don't know the story, if you haven't read about it, it follows Oryx, the Taken King, and he's basically out to take revenge on the Guardians for killing his son Crota before the Taken King. So it's all about revenge. It's all about him wanting to bite your head off with his massive jaw and stab you with his giant sword. He's just really, really mad at you. But one way that Bungie has really changed the story and the way that the story is presented is with the voice acting. And I have to say, voice acting has gone up several notches. A lot of the characters that I've heard, is just the characters are more interesting and they're more appealing. They make you interested in what they have to say, unlike before this, you know, where it was kind of like, it was more dull and monotonous, and you're like, okay, I don't even know what the story's about. There's so many holes, and not only that, but every time you talk, I really don't want to listen to you anyway. So I know I don't sound like a happy gamer right now. I don't mean to sound that way. I really, really enjoyed Destiny. For the time that I played it. I played it for a long time, and I played it a lot. But it eventually got to a point where I just quit. You know, it just kind of lost me. It lost my interest, and I just found myself wanting something more. And that is what Bungie has done with this. They have definitely done more with the Taken King, and they have made Destiny something that I feel like you should try. It's probably, you know, probably according to fans, including myself, this is the way Destiny should have been whenever they first released it. Just with all the things that they've done with it. It's like, it's almost as if Destiny, when it was released, was not finished. But the Taken King is like a more finished version of Destiny. Now, I know that they will keep adding to it and keep doing some really cool stuff with it. I'm hoping, now that I've seen the direction they've gone with the Taken King, I'm hoping that that's a sign of things to come. And I believe that it will be. But like I said, story-wise, the story's great. It's really engaging now. There's something to it. There's something to be said about it. And one thing that helps with that is the voice acting. Now, that includes a new voice actor for the Ghost, who is Nolan North, which is the voice of Nathan Drake from the Uncharted series. Now, before it was Peter Dinklage, and everybody complained. Like, I didn't necessarily think it was bad. I mean, he's supposed to be kind of an AI, so, you know, his monotone voice wasn't necessarily bad to hear, but a lot of people said it was like hearing nails on a chalkboard or something sometimes. I didn't really understand that. I kind of appreciated Peter Dinklage's, but his voice was dropped for the entire series, and the Ghost dialogue was completely re-recorded with the voice of Nolan North. And I do have to say that comparing the two, I really do like the way that Nolan North approaches it more than I like the way that Peter Dinklage did it. I'm not sure if Peter Dinklage put as much personality into it as Nolan North is. It does give the Ghost more personality. It does make him seem like more of a friend, a companion, than just this little robot that's following you around. So I really appreciate that, but let me just pause for a second. I want you to hear some of this voice acting.
They are taken.
Eris, get your rock off my map.
It hasn't spoken since Crota fell. It speaks now, because Oryx has arrived, come to fulfill the final covenant of his son.
But why fight the Cabal?
Not fighting. Taking. Controlling their will.
So we focus on his army. Kill these Taken until he's all that's left.
Whatever you kill, Oryx will replace.
The Dreadnought, then. How do we get past that weapon?
Without ending up like the Awoken.
I gotta go, see about a ship.
Cade, our discussion is not yet concluded.
Oh, I know. That's why I'm leaving.
Alright, so the voice acting is obviously, it's really nice. And Cade, that character, he's kind of sarcastic. He's one of my favorites so far. Like I said, I've only played 3 or 4 hours, but so far Cade is just awesome. I love sarcasm, so I love the things that he says. It just makes the game fun and more comical in some aspects. Right here is kind of a view of what the questing looks like. It's a lot different. You can actually turn in bounties right from your quest log here, and so you don't have to run all the way back to the tower every time and then refill on the bounties that you couldn't fit in there before. And you know, there was a smaller amount of space for bounties before, but now they've allowed you to carry more bounties at one time, so that's really, really nice. One of the greatest things about this game, about the Taken King, are the new subclasses for each class. There's a Sunbreaker subclass for the Titan, there's a Stormcaller subclass for the Warlock, and there's a Nightcrawler class for the Hunter. Now the Stormcaller class for the Warlock is the only one I've experienced so far, because the Warlock was my main character whenever I played Destiny originally. And right here you see me actually, what I'm doing right now is I'm working on getting that subclass. Now, whenever I get it, and you'll see it here in a second, it is one of the coolest looking things I have seen in Destiny so far. The Stormcaller class, and I'm sure that the other classes, the other subclasses, and the other classes are just as awesome. But man, I loved playing as a Stormcaller now, as a Warlock. Now, if you look at my experience bar, I'm only at 31, but I did start last night whenever I started playing. I started at level 29, and by the end of like 4 hours, I think, I was at level 34. Now, that brings me to my next topic, which is experience is much easier to gain in the Taken King. Like I said, I started at 29, and within a few hours, I was at 34. Now, I like that. Now, a lot of people might not, but I do like it. Oh, let me pause for a second. This is where I finally got my Stormcaller subclass, and I was just kind of learning how to use it a little bit, so I don't use it properly right here. But man, it is a lot of fun, and it's so satisfying. Especially I'm wearing headphones, and I can hear those explosions, you know, as I'm just sending bolts of electricity into these Vex here. It was so satisfying. So, like I was saying, experience is much easier to gain. I've read things about people who jump to level 40, like, within the first hour of playing, which I understand. Like, people prepared for this, and they maybe had bounties saved up, ready to turn in, things like that. So, the other thing that is much easier to obtain is gear. And if you spend a lot of time grinding, I mean, and it was a grind. It was a grind for gear in Destiny. If you spent a lot of time grinding for gear before the Taken King, you're going to find yourself replacing everything with like the greens and the blues that you get from regular quests in the Taken King, which I think is what it's normally like in MMOs. Normally when a new expansion comes out, you just do one quest and then you get this little crappy piece of gear that you can replace with the epic gear that you spent hours grinding for originally. So really, overall, I'm happy with the Taken King so far, and I'm glad that Destiny decided to take more time and put more thought and more purpose into into this so that they can make Destiny even better. And I look forward to things to come, and I look forward to sharing more videos with you. I'm going to be doing probably some multiplayer stuff, even though I'm really terrible at it. I'll do some multiplayer stuff, and I'll do more of the single player stuff just so you can see more. I just want you to kind of go along with me in this journey of the Taken King so that we can experience it together. So anyway, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, stay happy. I will see you guys next time for more Destiny, the Taken King.